Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, we want to take a look at the shorter time frame. Bitcoin continues to be, well, stuck in the range really, and it looks as if we continue in this range. Earlier today I already mentioned that should this low hold, we could actually be on our way to 99, 100k plus, because we had an 1-2 setup technically complete. Yeah. So remember in the last video we talked about this potential 5-wave move up from the November low into the 29th of November high, a possible 3-wave pullback. Well, not only possible, it is a very clear 3-wave pullback as an ABC structure. The price landed in that Fibonacci extension area I shared with you in the previous video. And actually, we've seen a move to the upside as a reaction to it. But the price could not break above the recent highs, indicating the selling pressure is just still too strong. But hey, it still looks good for the altcoins, yeah? And did you notice that this is something that's somewhat different to how it was before? Yes, and that is because we are officially in altcoin season. I don't know if anybody followed that. Just something that we pay attention to in addition to the Elliott Wave patterns. I don't really see that index here as very relevant, because I already highlighted early in November that we're going to get really good altcoin setups in the coming weeks. That was an announcement I made on Discord early November. I think it was the 6th of November, pretty much a month ago. And yeah, what it has been for a month. So now this indicator is now telling us that altcoin season is there. That's not necessarily an indicator to buy. It just tells us, well, yeah, it's officially altcoin season. And there's obviously a way to calculate that based on the performance of certain altcoins in your, over the last 90 days. So it's very much a lagging indicator. The Elliott Waves tell us very early that something is changing in the market. And it was already around I think the 6th of November where I posted that announcement that the market is changing and that we are looking for some bullish altcoin setups in the coming weeks, which has materialized nicely. So all I want to share here, for those who wanted an official confirmation, there it is. But also for those who've been waiting for funds to move from Bitcoin into Ethereum to the altcoins, it's just not happening, right? It's just not happening. The altcoin season occurs much more randomly than in previous cycles. And that's precisely what's been my perspective, because the Ethereum chart just looks weak. Not bearish on the Ethereum chart, but compared to Bitcoin and many other altcoins, it's just been disappointing. And it's an ugly diagonal pattern. And hey, I'm still expecting higher prices for Ethereum. And maybe it's going to launch a little later. But it's just that, again, this cycle is different. Been mentioning it all the time. People still like, oh, the 4-year cycle and everything. It's not the same. We've had an all-time high before the halving. The altcoins are pumping randomly, sort of without Ethereum, and this cycle is just different. So all of those who've been citing always the same stuff happening, it's just not happening, because the market doesn't want to give the majority of participants an edge. So those who always think the market is always behaving in the same way, it's just not happening, right? Maybe it's going to happen 2-3 times. After the 4th time, it's just not happening anymore, right? So the cycles are changing. I do observe the Bitcoin cycle. I do observe the 4-year cycle. Definitely not going to use it as a primary. I'm always interested in what the prices are doing. And just wanted to share that with you. If for anybody who's wondering why is Bitcoin not doing much, well, Bitcoin already was front running all of it, right? And if this is the blue count, then certainly we get a reset of this C wave and it's morphing into a WXY structure. So for those who missed the previous updates, the blue count is the bullish, let's say a bullish scenario, which I'm not convinced about, but it's a reasonable scenario and the price is currently testing support. It's not clearly, let's say it's not clearly bullish, because you see the market had an opportunity to break out and failed. So again, indicating further funds are flowing into the altcoin sector. Right. So again, interesting. Not all altcoins are going like crazy. It's quite sort of random. I mean, my watch list. I wanted to say wish list. Maybe it's a wish list as well. The watch list is red and green. It's not like all altcoins are pumping. So again, with all altcoins, we have to be much more specific. We have to be it's more important than ever to be focused on risk and reward. So, but this is still a viable 1-2 setup. And I mentioned to you, as long as we're holding above 92,418, I'm going to look for higher prices. Below, I'm going to look for prices targeting probably like 85K. But this is overall still a sideways range, and we are still in a correction. The breakout attempt that we had here clearly failed. So the focus is back on 92,418. There are some support levels below that level, 90,600. And then where that red line is located, 88,750. But if we break below the 92,418 level, it increases the potential that this 1-2 setup in blue is going to be invalidated. It's not invalidated yet. It's still but it's morphed into a WXY structure, which makes it much more messy. And I mean, again, it could also still, I mean, this B wave could still morph, you know, this is something that is happening possibly like that. WXY, you know, could also still morph higher. That's why I said, as long as we are, and it's again, pullback also, you know, overlapping. This looks a bit impulsive now, but could be an internal C wave here, yeah. So whatever the micro count is, it's not so important to track the microstructures necessarily in a correction like this, because they are going to morph all the time. What we need is that the bulls turn up before we break below 92,418, or the blue scenario will become less likely. Then the yellow count, in which the B wave could have topped already, will become more likely, and we're likely going to target like 85.5K next. So overall, there's not much more to say at the moment. The market isn't offering much more clarity, but we have all the levels we need. That attempt clearly failed. Maybe Bitcoin will try again. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. If you are interested in the membership, you can check out our channel page. There's a 2-minute video that explains the membership perks and extras. They're also for everybody member-only updates. Today I covered Q&T, which I know a lot of you have asked for due to the volatility today and the move. Uniswap is normally also not covered, so this is part of a member-only update because it was on our member request sheet. If you're a gold member, you can also connect to Discord, but that's all described in that video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.